Okay, for the last video, what we're going to go over is we're going to go over the estimation of roots. So we figured out how to find one solution and two solutions, even though factoring is something that we haven't really dealt with yet. There's better ways to factor, and so I don't like the way they did that in the last one, and I'm hoping once we get to factoring, it'll make more sense when we do the box method and some of the other stuff. So let's go ahead and estimate these. So we want to figure out how to graph this. So we have negative x squared plus 4x minus 1. So we have this value right here. We want to figure out what our axes of symmetry is. So we have this. Sorry, my dogs are in the back over there. So we have x equals minus b over 2a. So a equals negative 1, b equals 4, and c equals negative 1. So we have those values there. I know that x equals minus 4 over 2 times negative 1. So that becomes positive, so x equals 2. So x is equal to 2 is my axis of symmetry. I'm going to create a table and start figuring out what the values are as we go through it. So when x is equal to 2, if I plug in a 2 into the original equation, which I just underlined, then we have a negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 1. Notice that the negative is not inside the squared, otherwise there'd be parentheses around it. And so we don't put it inside the parentheses over here. So we have negative 4 plus 8 minus 1. So that'd be negative 5 plus 8, which would be 3. So that'd be our first value that we come up with. And now we're going to go, since this is my axis of symmetry, I'm going to pick a point to the right of x, which would be 3. So we're going to plug in a 3 into the original equation. So I have negative 3 squared plus 4 times 3 minus 1. So that is minus 9 plus 12 minus 1, which is equal to, if you notice, that would be minus 10 plus 2, which would be 2. Okay, and then we're going to go one more point over. So we're going to go one more point over. So we're going to do 4. So negative 4 squared plus 4 times 4 minus 1. That is 16, negative 16 plus 16, which is going to cancel, and then we get a negative 1. So that's what it's going to look like when we graph it. So we're going to start graphing those points. So let's graph those points. First, we have 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3, 2. 3, 2. Since this is my axis of symmetry, I know on the other side it's a mirror image of that. And then we have negative 4, negative 1, 4, negative 1. So over on the other side, it looks like that. So we can see that it looks something like this. And we can see that it's somewhere between 0 and 1, right? Somewhere in there. And we can see it's somewhere in there between 3 and 4. Okay, so we can figure out those 2 points. So we know it's somewhere between 3 and 4 and 0 and 1. So we can check our answers, make sure that those are okay. And that's what we get. Okay, go on to the next one. So now we're going to use a table to be able to solve